There, this is Galeazzo Frudua, and today we are going to learn how to play the guitar of In My Life by the Beatles. It's a different kind of arrangement that mixes some kind of arpeggios and finger picking style, not kind of finger picking, but finger picking a la Beatles, so a la McCartney style, and which is more suitable for more effective or solo individual cover of the song, maybe more nighty arrangement. You need a capo to be placed at the second fret of the guitar to do this. So the key we are going to use is a key again as before, but we are playing actually in G. So I will refer as G for the chords. It sounds like this. It's very nice and very effective, kind of a night stuff if you are in the late evening. Let's now go through all the different parts. So the first part is the introduction. This time we are going to reproduce the melody of the introduction, and we do this by playing it this way. So we have a first chord, which is actually a G, but played here becomes an A, but we will refer this as a G. So the first chord is done by placing your ring finger at the 5th fret on the E string. The second finger is you're placing the middle finger on the 4th fret on the E string, and then you have your pinky on the 5th fret of the high E string. The sound is this one. Then you pluck the string this way. So your first movement with your right hand is playing the B string and the low E string together, and then with your right hand ring finger you play the high E string this way, and then again your medium finger and thumb plays the E string and the B string, and then you do so the whole is you see that I'm not changing anything here, so very simple. You can just repeat this with me. Okay, and then this is what happens here. So you again are playing your thumb and medium finger. This time you are plucking the A string with your thumb and the B string with your medium finger, and you are just touching with your index finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, the fret here. So again, slow. Okay. And then you move up with your medium finger on the 4th fret on the A here, and your pinky goes on the 5th fret on the B string here, and again you play with your thumb the A, and with your medium finger of the right hand the B. So okay. And then you go to a D chord, which you play in a strange way. I mean, the D chord, you remember, in this case is done by placing your index finger here on the 4th fret of the G string, and then the ring finger on the 5th fret of the B string, and then your medium finger on the 4th fret of the A string. So very simple. You start playing this from the D string here. But what you want to do is lifting up the 2 index and medium finger, and putting them down while the chord is playing. Okay. Okay. Then to the verse, you have again the first chord, which is again the G played by placing the ring finger on the 5th fret of the E, your medium finger on the 4th fret of the A, and your pinky on the 5th fret of the E, high E string, and then this time you change the strumming, and the strumming from now on pretty old goes this way. So you are going to touch with your thumb the note of the chord that gives the name of the chord. In this case, it's a G, so we will start with this the thumb on the E string, and you play the G here, and then your index finger does this movement, pretty old, by playing the last 4. And this starts with this strumming, this starts the verse. So the first chord, I told you what it is. On the second one, you go here and you play the F sharp with your thumb, and then you put the index finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and then your ring finger on the 5th fret of the B. If you want, you can also add your medium finger here, but I don't play this one, I do this because I like this effect of leaving the last E string open. So this is the chord, the second chord, it's a D, excuse me, and then the last one is actually a E minor, played by putting the medium finger on the 4th fret of the A string and your ring finger on the 4th fret of the D string. 1 and 2. So again, this one is here, here, and here. Here and here, and then okay, here is it. Then the next chord is G7, which you play by placing the ring finger on the 5th fret of the E, and then your medium finger on the 4th fret of the A string, and then your index finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string, and you play starting from the G here. Okay, again. Okay, this is the chord. The way I play this is so when I go to the F7, I actually do this, okay? Okay? And then, which is again like the beginning. You remember? You first play these 2 strings with with your index on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then you play the A and D string by placing your medium finger on the 4th fret of the A and your index finger, your pinky finger on the 5th fret of the B. So, and this is a C, a normal C. You play this one by placing your ring finger on the 5th fret of the A, your medium finger on the 4th fret of the D, and your index finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. 1, 2, and 3. So you can do this or this. So again. Okay, with your right hand, when you do the C, you actually using your right hand this way. I play with my thumb the A string, which is a D here, C here, and then with my index finger, again, just like I was doing on the G7, I am playing the last 3 strings going up. Okay, the next chord is I go to this position here, and what I'm doing is C minor. So you have your index finger pushing all the strings this way, and then you have C minor 7 actually, and then you have your ring finger on the 7th fret here, and your medium finger on the 6th fret here on the B string. So what comes out is this. Okay, and then I go back to the starting G. Again, everything. So you see that every time I go to a chord, I sometimes use this movement of my right hand finger. But if this is up to you, you can also do this way or whatever you want. Then when I come up to the G string here, what I'm doing is that I'm no longer playing the medium finger. I'm just playing this note and this note here, 1 and 2. And what I do is an arpeggio. So thumb, index, medium, thumb on the E, index on the D, and medium on the G. And when I do what I do is so this is done by playing these 3 strings together, the G, the D with the index, the G with the medium, and the B with the ring finger of my right hand, and then with my left hand I do this movement by hammering my medium finger on the 4th fret of the D string and my index finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. When I pull them up, I'm actually moving aside on the low side, so I'm actually playing them again. See, listen. Okay, and the effect is, and then, so again thumb here, and with my right hand B and E with just the 5th fret with the pinky on the E string here. This was the verse. Let's now go to the refrain of this new arrangement. So here we go to a E minor, okay, which we play by placing our medium finger on the 4th fret on the A string and our ring finger on the 4th fret of the D string, and we strum like this. Okay, so the chord is this one and this one, very simple. And then we play what is actually a C, which we do by placing the ring finger at the 5th fret of the E string, the pinky on the 5th fret of the A string, and then our medium finger at the 4th fret on the D string, and our index on the 3rd fret on the B string. Okay. Then we have this chord, which is actually a G, and we go to this through a passage which implies that we sound the open E, and then there's this passage on the F. So again, and again we start with the usual strumming here. So this F chord, which is actually a G for the tuning, but we will refer to this as an F, is played by placing the thumb at the 3rd fret and then your ring finger at the 5th fret. So the thumb on the 3rd fret on the low E string, the ring finger at the 5th fret on the A string, the pinky on the 5th fret of the D string, the medium finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and then you use your index finger to press both the B string and the high E string at the 3rd fret. And the strumming becomes this one. Then you go back to the G as before. Then there's this passage, okay, by passing through the from the G to the E minor by moving down one fret from your medium finger on the 5th fret to your index finger on the 4th fret on the low B, and playing the rest of the strings as usual. And then again you have the E minor as before, and this time instead of going to the C, you go to a A7. This time you go to the A7, which is done by placing your medium finger on the 4th fret on the D string and your ring finger on the 4th fret of the B string. And then you go to the C minor, which I showed you before, and then again to the G, which you can make this way or this way as on the verse. You are now at the end of the song, so you have to reproduce the beginning of the song. So as you are at the end of the song now, you can add something to the initial riff, initial strumming pattern and figure, because normally in every song the arrangement grows a bit along the song. So this time instead of doing, we can do. So adding an open G. Okay, again slow. And then you go to a D7, which is done by playing, putting your medium finger on the 4th fret on the G string and then your index finger on the 3rd fret of the B string and then your ring finger on the 4th fret of the high E string, this way, 1, 2 and 3. So you pass from here, D normal D, and then D7, and then you move up your ring finger by playing all the strings together or just this one as you prefer. Depends on the effect you want to reproduce, and then you go to the initial G string. The whole thing is of course you slower the tempo a bit to give this emphasis, to give this drama to the stuff, to hold the whole stuff. So thanks for staying with me for this song. I hope you enjoyed this one. These are two different arrangements. One is more suitable for the some kind of more toward the original song, and the other one is more than the 90s stuff you can play along with friends, in the evening or whatever you want, or do whatever you want to do with that. We have two different arrangements for two kind of mood. And this was the video of In My Life by the Beatles, the guitar, the Frudua arrangement. Ciao, grazie.